Welcome to Biggest Dick Moves in 40k history. My name is Precognition, and today we're looking at the Ithacan Purges, an event that took place in the 41st millennium within a Necron dynasty. Significant spoilers for the Twice Dead King series ahead, in particular Book 2. I highly recommend you give it a read, it's a fun series. The Necron dynasty of Ithaca had once been rich and glorious, but over the millions of years of its existence, it fell apart, mainly due to the mental degradation of its king. Eventually, by the 41st millennium, it was a shadow of itself, a tiny kingdom, a metal skeleton eking out a strange and terrible existence, as it had fallen deep into the grips of the Flayer Plague. This strange existence was interrupted by the forces of an enormous imperial crusade, a fleet of hundreds of human ships bearing millions of human soldiers, backed up by the mighty human assault creatures known as Space Marines. The end had come to Ithaca, but while the king was lost to his delusions, the Crown Prince Oltyx rallied what nobles he could and fought their way clear. Taking a ragtag fleet of Necrons, he broke free of the Imperial force to flee into the galaxy. The prince's vessel, the mighty flagship Acrops, even ramming directly through a gigantic Imperial Navy vessel, snapping its giant golden aquila. Wanting to salvage some sort of victory from the flight, the Necrons kept the golden icon, melting it down for use in their new king's coronation, both a spoil of war and the material needed to infuse the prince's metal hide with the gold befitting a king. Though, as the morbidly disgusting humans had left, of all things, bones scattered within the golden artifice, it required significant purification first. Making use of their superior technology, the Necron fleet hid easily from the humans, while they reorganized their now starborn dynasty. But to the shock of all, the human fleet successfully pursued the fleeing Ithacans. Having suffered significant damage, the Necrons fled again, though without much success. Shockingly, the primitive humans were able to follow them perfectly. There could be only one answer. It was clear to Oltyx. Some ambitious noble was making a play to destroy him, leading the human crusade to the Necrons, either to discredit him or have him killed. Furious, the prince challenged his biggest rival to a duel. Slaying her, he led his fleet to flee again, though each subsequent jump was less and less successful, as the damage from constant fights with the humans added up quicker than even the Necrons could accommodate for, especially here in the void away from their tomb arrays and the many devices that rebuilt their losses. Employing various tricks and leaning heavily on the knowledge of his closest friends, the prince, now King Oltyx, managed to keep ahead of the giant armada, if only just. Yet the Imperials still followed it unerringly. It was galling. The king had been wrong. Some other, more subtle traitor hidden in the fleet was toying with him. So, when he discovered his oldest friend and admiral of the fleet, along with the Cryptech master who had so often upgraded Oltyx's form, had lied to him and not left the Ithacan sufferers of the Flayer virus behind, he flew into a rage. The Flayers had a sickening obsession with flesh they had lost, and the pair had been keeping them hidden and feeding their appetites with human bodies so willingly provided by the Crusade fleet. This was the answer! The ones he trusted most had been manipulating the situation. Oltyx initiated a purge, slaying the Cryptech and banishing the Admiral to a damaged ship doomed to float forever in between worlds, with only a crew of the mad flayed for company. From there, the king initiated a program of vicious spying on his dwindling followers, brutally seeking out any sign of the Flayer virus and destroying the Necrons bearing it, regardless of their mental state, or if they'd ever indulged in the hunger they felt for flesh. And yet, the humans still came on, tracking the Necrons perfectly, harrying the fleeing dynasty, never letting them settle or stop to repair. In one of these skirmishes, the Necrons managed to capture a human psyker, and through this, the traitor was revealed to Oltyx. See, the Imperials had declared this crusade in the name of a saint. They'd even carried her bones with them, in the form of a truly holy icon, a giant pure gold Imperial Aquila with her bones melted throughout it. It acted as a magnificent beacon to the psychers of the Crusade fleet, allowing them to keep track of their flagship like a second, lesser Astronomicon. You see where this is going. The holy gold of the saint was still sending out that beacon, so much so that for a moment the captured psyker had thought Oltyx the saint herself. There was someone leading the Imperials to him, and it was the psychic glow of his own skin. The human fleet could follow Oltyx anywhere. The king was the beacon they followed. He had purged his fleet, destroying minds older than the dinosaurs, and whittling his failing dynasty down to almost nothing, looking for himself. Don't worry though, Oltyx eventually learns to embrace the eat, pray, love method.